Mimicry is how they learn, and that learning creates cultures. It's scientifically proven when resources are good, orangs spend more time around each other and more time peering, watching, observing the other orangs.
It's so weird. So if they theoretically see a fat ginger...
What's up, fellas? It's me, Hoodie Dude.
The potentially terrifying intelligence of the orangutan. Fellas, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know shit about orangutans. All I know about, like, because I know about, like, chimpanzees and how, obviously I know how intelligent apes are, right? I know how intelligent they are. Gorillas, chimpanzees, all that. And I've heard about stories about a chimpanzee going cyber psycho and beating the fuck out of their owner. I've heard of that, right? But I've never really heard anything about orangutans. To me, all I've heard about orangutans are mostly positive. Orangutans seem chill as fuck. I seen one motherfucker riding a golf cart. I was dead ass seen an orangutan whipping in a golf cart listening to Cardi, bruh. Chilling. He look like me for real, bruh. Cause he moving like me. But, like, I don't know. I'm curious, though. Obviously, this is done by the GOATs, Casual Geographic. Support these original creators, okay? Support these guys. But, like, I really want to know who has... I mean, I'm sure you're going to get into it, but what is the smartest ape? Because I know there's, like, a gorilla named Coco who learned sign language. You think he knows, like, the middle finger? Shout out The Rock. The Rock in that movie. Oh, was it Rampage? Something else like that. But I'm curious, though. I wonder how a gorilla would react to watching my videos. Lock in, fellas.
Giant ginger tree hippies don't always choose peace.
Damn, off rip. Off the triple threat. Golly.
But in 2014, one shocked scientist when she not only orchestrated the life canceling of another, she essentially hired a hitman to do it. The hairy honey trap was executed by a young female named Condor, and the victim was a mother 20 years older named Sidoni. Living in the swamp forests of Indonesia's Mawas Reserve, the two had beef going back all the way to 2009, with Condor curiously approaching Sidoni's at the time 7-year-old daughter.
Wow. These orangutans had beef? They been moving like this? Okay.
And Sidoni defensively smacking and biting Condor.
So Condor was moving on some Dr. Disrespect type of shit. I got you. Okay.
Before chasing her off. The perceived insolence stuck with Condor, and the disrespect was tattooed to her psyche. She was not letting that slide. Years later, Condor would catch the eye of a male named Echo, and the two would eventually run into Sidoni. They both approached, and Echo seemed to inspect Sidoni, who was now jockeyed by her 4-year-old son.
Are they about to jump her?
Echo seemed curious in the mother, before losing interest and proceeding to mate with Condor.
Okay.
Right in front of Sidoni. Call it passion or power play, but either way...
I low-key think it's weird, because didn't Sidoni not give a fuck about Condor? Now just seeing Condor get hit with back shots and shit. Low-key, if I'm Sidoni, I'm more so just, like, minding my business, because y'all do you. Leave me the fuck alone. Alright? Clean up after yourselves. Get you a little tree or something. You can't get a room. Get you a little tree or something. But, like, bro, what? I don't know if that's a power play or not, because it kind of shows how much of a bitch you are. Imagine, like, you talking that shit, and then immediately you're getting hit with back shots immediately, bro. Like, what the fuck? You getting dominated off rip, gang. You lost, bro.
Sidoni tried exiting the situation. Condor escalated. And
Wait, what?
The lovemaking and savagely beating Sidoni.
What? Wait. What the fuck? So as Condor was getting hit, with all these types of animations, was like Sidoni just like watching and like getting hit? Or like what?
But what blew researchers away was Echo going from bystander to participant. For 33 minutes, the two took turns beating on Sidoni, sometimes together, sometimes just Condor, with Echo blocking off any escape routes. It was an honest to ape jumping, and his much larger canines meant Echo inflicted the bulk of the damage. The pair didn't stop until a fourth orang, a male named Guapo, chased Echo off and ran defense for Sidoni, before mating with her.
What the fuck?
Orange Night would be too late, as a little over 2 weeks later, Sidoni became past tense due to her injuries.
Yeah, I would assume she died.
And scientists were left wondering what they had just witnessed.
Why?
In over 26,000 hours of observation, only 6 female and female attacks were recorded, and none caused serious injuries. Yet here was a spiteful orang leveraging her carnal currency, specifically to erase one of her rivals, and Echo acting as a higher...
Oh, hell no. I ain't gonna lie, cause if I'm at the zoo and I'm walking past the orangutan like exhibit and I see an orangutan doing this shit, I'm not gonna lie, I'm shooting the fucker. You gotta put that motherfucker down ASAP, gang. He plotting. It's about to be Planet of the Apes, bitch.
gun, premeditated premeditated and personal, it was a shockingly dark look into the intelligence of the forest man. One that begs the question, just how smart are they, and just what could they be capable
Freaky ass. No, guys, we also gotta be looking at Guapo some type of way. What the fuck? That man Guapo gotta get put down too, gang.
of?
Hell nah.
To say orangutans are intelligent is honestly disrespectful, cause this tree-happy ginger ape is damn near human. That is an animal that can 100% speak. They just really don't want to deal with taxes, and that's only partially a joke. Their name, Orangutan, literally translates to man of the forest, cause locals swore they were plus-size people that chose not to speak because they know then they'd have to get jobs. In 2014, a court in Argentina actually granted human rights to Sandra the orangutan after 20 years of captivity. There's a cute saying that goes, if you give a chip a screwdriver, it'll use it as a weapon. A gorilla would accidentally break it. A bonobo would become the screwdriver, but an orangutan,
what the fuck?
he'd hide it, use it to dismantle his cage, and then let all his friends out. There's a bunch of reasons for this brainy Bigfoot, and one of them is them being the biggest mama's boys on Earth. No other mammal spends more time with its mother, except humans. In the up to and often over 10 years of being her shadow, baby orangs learned everything about how to orangutan. Not only that, but daughters often live around their moms even after having their own baby. This means orangutans are one of the few animals that have a legitimate culture, and what we see is a sum of generational wisdom passed down.
God, his back muscles are insane. I really wonder, in the orangutan mythos, right? I didn't know it was a sentence I was gonna utter today, but you know, fuck it. What is like an urban legend amongst orangutans? Did an orangutan see like fucking like Sean Bradley or an NBA player one day of like a tall, like Shaquille O'Neal was another tall, Sean Bradley, Dirk Nowitzki, and there's tales of these tall 7-foot, 8-foot monsters roaming around the cities and shit. You think an orangutan knows like fucking Diddy and what he I really wonder how orangutan culture would view like Diddy or Epstein. Would they like, how would they view him? How would they view me? I hate you, hoodie dude. Hoodie dude versus an orangutan, Cuddy, who wins? Why are you not answering?
In 2022, a notorious Sumatran male named Raucus
Shout out, wait, what? Shout out who? Tirzu? Let go. Shout out Tirzu and Tony Hawk for introducing me to bus driver.
Raucus was seen using a medicinal plant to help heal a face wound he'd gotten in a fight. The 30-something-year-old applied the chewed-up paste of the akar kuning, an anti-inflammatory, antibacterial flowering plant traditionally used to treat malaria and diabetes.
What do you know?
Raucus applied the paste for 7 minutes until it covered his wound, and 5 days later, it was completely healed.
What the fuck?
It's not the first time we've seen animals self-medicate. Parrots will eat clay to detox from all the leaves, and elephants will apparently eat certain plants to induce labor. But what made Raucus so radical is the simple fact that they rarely eat that plant to begin with. There's more evidence of orangs self-medicating with the same plants used by locals, and it's likely this knowledge was taught, and not by humans. Mothers will even teach their young to have the same preferences for food, so that when they get older, they can forage in the same area without directly competing with all the other mother-child pairs.
Oh, fuck no. That's so weird, though. Dude, do y'all think orangutans have religion? Obviously not to the degree of humans, but like, genuinely, with the amount of knowledge that orangutans are passing down via food, culture, whatever the case, do you genuinely believe they have an orangutan god that they worship and pray to? Now, again, not to the degree of us, like they don't go to church, or maybe they fucking do, I don't know, right? Maybe church is just them grouping up and just looking down or something, who knows? But like, do you think orangutans have God?
Another thing this citrus simian is smart enough to understand
Freaky ass.
is calculated reciprocity. In this viral video, you see this man Vitaly trade snacks with a zoo orangutan. Not only did the hairy haggler refuse until he understood that he'd be getting something back, I swear you can see him check for zookeepers. If it sounds like a stretch, it's scientifically proven this untaxable entity understands the concept. 2 orangutans at the Leipzig Zoo in Germany were given 3 different tokens and quickly learned that they could exchange one type for bananas for themselves. The second token type would earn bananas for the other orang, and the third type had no monetary value whatsoever. At first, the female, Doc, had no problem exchanging tokens to get the male, Bim,
Damn, Doc balding as a mug.
bananas. But Doc realized Bim wasn't really returning the favor, so she became a lot less generous. That gave Bim enough of an attitude adjustment to start trading his tokens more until their efforts became closer to equal. There's another story of a zoo orangutan taught to exchange any trash he found in his enclosure for a food reward. Except he then realized if he just returned the trash in pieces, that would just mean more food for him, which was unfortunate when the trash was someone's phone.
Dude, what the fuck? He knew that? Okay, that's insane. That's insane.
And tragic when it turned out to be a formerly alive possum. But
Jesus Christ.
What exactly is it that makes orangutans so smart? Well, the superpower is how they learn. When orangutans are spending all that time with their mothers, they learn everything they need to by watching and copying. Even after they leave, young males will find an older, flanged male to use as a role model.
Flanges meaning the cheap head, mature, okay.
Learning how to be an alpha male by mimicking everything he does. Mimicry is how they learn, and that learning creates cultures. It's scientifically proven when resources are good, orangs spend more time around each other and more time peering, watching, observing the other orangs.
It's so weird. So if they theoretically see a fat ginger, wait, if they see a fat ginger at a zoo like picking his ass, are they gonna theoretically pick his ass too, or pick their asses as well? We need to do an experiment, fellas. Get a big fat ginger, go to a zoo and start making him hit the Dougie, and then whenever he hits the Dougie after a certain amount of time, give him a banana, and let the orangutans follow suit.
It's not just people watching, it's gathering intel, and they don't just do it to each other. Orangs regularly learn things just by watching the humans around them. This male was seen attempting to catch fish after clocking locals doing it, and one female, Supina, tried starting a fire by dipping a glowing stick in kerosene, blowing on it, and even rubbing it with another stick. But this shadow clone jutsu can be wildly inconvenient. Camp Leakey is an orangutan research and rehabilitation reserve where the Auburn apes have plenty of opportunities to study humans right back, leading to the trend of orangutans untying canoes from the dock and stealing them, and not even triple or quadruple knots can discourage them. Fun fact, it takes about a 7-hour canoe ride to get to camp, so one documentary crew decided to save time with a speedboat. They lost that time after a redman stole the boat and left them stranded.
What the fuck?
The power of perception has taught orangs how to breastfeed, drive, and even saw wood.
This is a video I saw, bruh! He was in a go-kart whipping that bitch!
All from what?
POV, me and Golf Gang. POV, Mordecai and Rick. But like, bruh, he was moving like crazy.
Watching a human. It said orangs have the intelligence of a 4-year-old, but I've yet to see a toddler
that's fucking way, that's way higher.
Did its own laundry. Now you're seeing what I'm saying. Bro's smart enough to talk, wise enough not to. And she's only song like that so we don't catch on.
I know your game, orangutan. You tang.
What if I told you there's an even higher level of intelligence they can get to?
POV Vigilant R6, Cuddy. I see you, big back.
Deception.
Motherfuckers be doing this shit, but like when we're playing hide and seek, I'm not even playing for real. Cuddy, you hiding under the fucking car again. What are you talking about? Nah, I'm not even playing for real, gang. You doing too much. It be the same motherfuckers doing this shit, Cuddy. They be in the most crazy spots. Y'all seen Kung Fu Panda? Y'all know that one scene when Po was up top of the fucking cabinets looking for fucking cookies and shit? They be hiding in the exact same spot. Hey, I found you, gang. I wasn't playing. Shut up.
Deception requires foresight and anticipating the actions or thoughts.
He just kidnapped the baby
of another party. That's where
are they making out? POV, the Coldplay concert.
Intelligence can get scary. If orangutans have the capacity to trick us, we're talking about a whole different ball game. Which brings us to the story of Fu Manchu. Now we're talking about an
Fu Manchu, cause that's it. Motherfucker, he sound like a dictator. What the fuck? Fu Manchu.
Orangutan outsmarting humans, and it happened in the 60s in Omaha Zoo in Nebraska.
Okay.
I know, nothing ever happens in Nebraska.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably why Fu Fang 2 fucking did this shit, cause he's in fucking Nebraska. I'd be mad too.
Love was nearly lost until Pizza Hut showed up.
Go get her. Hi, I'm
Then, Cuddy, she want the pizza that bad. Cuddy, we peep it.
Peter. Looks like
Hey, Peter.
meat lovers.
Starting at
Is that a sexual innuendo? Fuck off.
One day, zoo director Jerry Stone was doing his rounds when a couple keepers ran up to him. Panicking, they told him not 1, but 5 orangs had escaped and were roaming the zoo. This was not good. Like all
Thank you.
apes, an orang outside is a code red situation, and a starting lineup of them walking amongst people was a canon event begging to happen. All it would take was a human or orang getting too curious for it to be a bad time for everyone, and Jerry sprinted to them before anything could happen, and he found them just chilling. Yeah, Jerry was greeted by 5 fugitives just people watching in the elm trees by the elephant building.
Yeah, I was like, what did Jerry assume they were gonna do? Just start roaming the streets, eating babies and punching fucking like cars? No, they're low key. Let me think. How do I word this? I do feel like orangutans are chill as fuck 9 times out of 10. Unless you obviously get the scary bunches that want to like take over humanity because they're moving like Pinky in the fucking brain. Obviously. But I feel like for the most part, most orangutans are chill as fuck, gang. Like they just people watch. They moving like the Akatsuki. Well, the Akatsuki's not really that chill, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Clearly,
And what the fuck is my man Jerry gonna do? Box the 5 orangutans? Like, That man Jerry about to pull up, cause he 1v5, cause he about to end up like SpongeBob when he got flattened, cause he.
All they wanted to do was visit the zoo like everyone else. But you can't just have several hundred pounds of primate in public unsupervised, so Jerry literally went up the tree, grabbed an orang by the hand, and led them all back to the exhibit with no resistance.
They're chill as fuck.
Jerry was less gentle with his staff, and let it be known that another mistake like that and someone would get pink slipped straight into unemployment.
I feel like that's at least you're not taking that on the fucking animals.
Clearly Stone made his point, because nothing like that would ever happen again.
Imagine being lectured by this guy, dude. I feel like I would cry. I don't know why, but I feel like his lectures would actually fucking like hurt my feelings. I don't know why.
Until next week, when it happened again. Yup. Somehow, someway, Orangutan gang got out again. No one got hurt. They actually went to the exact same spot in the trees. But a troop of tangerine men exercising free will is a nightmare for zoo PR, and this time, Jerry was ready to give someone permanent PTO.
Oh yeah, Jerry!
No shot someone went through all that school in debt just to not close a furnace door. So imagine what went through Jerry's mind when the Tans got out again. But this time, there was a catch. I used to think you'd only hear this line in a movie, but nah, someone actually ran up to Jerry and said, "You gotta come see this."
To be fair, it was like the 60s in Nebraska. You know, it's basically like the ancient times.
And he wasn't wrong. You see, in the orangutan exhibit, there was a moat, and down at the bottom of that moat was a furnace door. And sure enough, they caught one of the males, Fu Manchu, fiddling with the door. They were watching from a distance so Fu wouldn't see them, but they couldn't see exactly what Fu was doing. All they knew was suddenly the door flew open and Usain Bolt fell to
Was he pickpocketing the fucking door?
disturbance as these men broke the sound barrier running down to stop them. So now the solution was simple. Clear the enclosure of anything that could be used to escape and do it daily. And sure enough, the orang breakouts came to an end.
No! God damn, we're just trying to chill and enjoy the zoo though. I ain't gonna lie. Would that not theoretically bring more customers though? If the orangutans were able to not roam around, but like let them be able to move in the trees and let them observe. You can just say, I don't know. Just say they're. I don't fucking know, dude. Like, I get it, obviously, the PR, and then some dumbass parent lets their kid to, like, pull the orangutan's hair. Next thing you know, the fucking kid is torn in half. Next thing you know, the kid is given the fucking Galvatron treatment in Transformers 1, right? Or thrown into space by the orangutan. But, like, if they're not doing no harm, low-key.
For about a week until it happened again. Jerry wasn't even mad, just tired.
I will be, you know what, that's valid.
Remember, he was a zoo director, and these Mandarin menaces were monopolizing his life. And it was while perp-walking Fu Manchu, who just had to have the biggest eating grin. Jerry noticed a glimmer out the corner of his mouth. He pulls it out, and it all becomes clear. Out was a 4-inch piece of wire bent like a horseshoe that Fu Manchu had stashed between his lower lip and gum.
What the fuck?
The very hairy Houdini had been using it as a lockpick
Freaky ass.
for weeks and hiding it in his oral wallet.
That is actually fucking insane. But where did he learn that from?
No one taught Fu. Not only did he orchestrate his own emancipation, he had the foresight to realize he couldn't have the key out around keepers or else it'd get confiscated. Fu Manchu would be named an honorary member of the Locksmith Union of the United States, and
That's cool.
Jerry Stone would go on to work with several other interesting apes, including a gorilla named Harambe. Fu Manchu wouldn't be the last, or arguably the most creative. 27-year-old Carta used a stick to short-circuit an electric wire, and then used a bunch of sticks as a ladder to climb out her enclosure. She then just sat and enjoyed the view for 30 minutes.
No, her mate actually passed the month before, so keepers believe this is her morning. Oh.
Until her keepers pulled up with tranquilizers.
Damn! She just mourning her lost partner, and the zookeepers are shooting her with fucking strength darts like it's art. They're hitting her with narco berries, bro.
At which point she just went back in. Last year, Kimbali broke out of an $11 million habitat in Toronto by cartwheeling past a wire barrier. Mind you, that habitat opened up the summer before. Bro flexed on them 11 million ways. The important thing is, in none of these cases do you see an orang get out with malicious intent.
They're just chilling.
Sometimes they just cosplay as people. But what if one did have beef and use his powers for malfeasance?
I'd stop him. Really? No. I mean, on your soul, on you, yes, you watching right there, eating while watching this video, right? You right there, yes, you gooning while watching this video. You sick fuck. I'm stopping the orangutan. I really am.
This is Ken Allen. It's the most
Ken Allen.
famous name in orangutan lore, and you wouldn't even know the name if his mother Maggie had succeeded in smothering him before he even got it.
What the fuck? So is this guy like the Sukuna or like the Voldemort in the orangutan community? Like, you say his name, there's like the #1 orangutan fanboy. You say his name, the orangutan fanboy just goes insane. Like, no! Ken Allen. Like, he just goes insane, dude. Is there orangutan historians? I would assume so. They're just like zoologists. But like, is he really that infamous?
He'd be named after the two zoo officials that would raise him instead, Ken Willingham and Ben Allen. As a baby, he'd soft launch his shenanigans by regularly unscrewing the bolts of his crib and dismantling it. And
The fuck, could he? Phineas and Ferb ass Laura, could he?
once he got too big for a crib, keeper Joanne Thomas would take him around the zoo in a stroller, a decision that arguably cost the zoo thousands.
Why?
5 days after moving into his new enclosure, June 13, 1985, Ken climbed a wall and got out. Years before, folks caught Ken building a DIY ladder out of some branches. One thing I didn't mention is living in the trees full time means orangutans literally make their beds every single night. Up to 20,000 in a life. Clearly the craftsmanship carries on.
So they're okay.
And Allen spent his freedom wandering the zoo, taking pictures with patrons before getting escorted back. Not a great thing to happen, but no one got hurt, the wall he scaled got extended, and surely this wouldn't happen again. July 29th of that year, Ken found a way out again, but this time, his intentions weren't pure.
Okay, what made him snap though?
You see, there was another orang, Otis.
Oh, Otis.
Ken did not
Motherfucker sound mean.
like Otis. Ken hated Otis. He hated him so much that they actually had to be separated because orangs might be an endangered species, but as long as they are roommates, Otis was an endangered individual.
Actual picture of Ken Allen. Cannot confirm if Otis is behind the camera. Probably is. Is he flipping me off? Probably.
So when Ken escaped a second time, he went straight for Otis's corner.
Damn.
And chucked rocks at him. That premeditated stoning put him in solitary confinement, but I'm sure Ken will tell you it was worth it. But the reason for the beef might have been jealousy. Otis was the breeding star of San Diego, with nearly 10 kids and 3 wives.
So my man Ken Allen was mad that Otis was pulling. I ain't gonna lie, Ken. You could have pulled crazy with your intelligence, bet. You could, like, imagine, Ken. If you're watching this, probably fucking. Actually, you never know. There might be some snot-nosed hoodie dude fan, like, showing Ken my videos through the damn, like, glass, and Ken's just intensively watching with notes out. Bruh, you could have showed so many female orangutans, like, the outdoor of the zoo. You feel me? Like, imagine, Cuddy, you and the little lady orangutan were just chilling, having fun, and you just say, hey, you want to do something real quick? Oh, what do you want to do? And boom, you escape and you show her the world, Cuddy, on some Aladdin shit. My man Ken Allen's obviously not that smart, Cuddy. Not that smart. Damn.
Ken hated him as a concept, so the zoo gave him 4. And of course that backfired, when Ken started teaching them how to disrespect infrastructure too. One day, someone left a crowbar in the enclosure and
what?
instead of using it while everyone watched, he just tossed it aside, like he didn't even care. An actual orang move, except he threw it to a female named Vicky, and she used it to pry open a window and free them both. Also, Otis wasn't the only victim. Apparently, he took offense to a TV crew filming a documentary on gorillas and pelted them with rocks.
Honestly, that's valid as fuck. I'd be mad as hell too if like the fucking like paparazzi came out of nowhere when I'm like trying to take a shit. They deserve all rocks. The paparazzi, everyone that's like involved with the paparazzi, right, from the cameraman to the people that like make them do it, they all should get stoned. They should all get sent to the front lines. Them and like, I don't know, Rule 34 artists now.
Until he ran out of rocks and started using cannonballs from his colon. Ken
Oh shit.
was so crafty, employees would only have a chance of studying him if they dressed like regular guests, cause Ken would never incriminate himself if someone in uniform was around.
Oh, I fuck with Ken. Okay, Ken's starting to grow on me, even though he's kind of weird with like the women and shit. The fact is, hey, Cuddy, he kind of chill as fuck. Fuck 12. No, fuck ice. Okay.
Ken would break out a few more times, never hurting anyone, except Otis. He did once approach a child and mumble, "No one will ever believe you," before walking away. And if you doubt that, your disbelief makes his legacy stronger.
No, I believe it.
His legacy was he cost the zoo over $40,000 in zoo enhancements, undercover surveillance, electric wiring, and even hired rock climbers to find every possible finger, foot, and toe hold. But
God damn, dude. That man, Ken made him do all that shit? Cause he was moving like Mr. Miracle.
he likely made that back and more, with all the PR Ken Allen brought to the zoo just by being himself. But except for Otis, who, let's be real,
Fuck him.
must have done something to deserve it, Ken Allen never used his intellect to inflict violence. Bro just wanted a vibe. But what could an orang with a human grudge do? There's a story of an
There's a story. Oh, dude, I thought the video was gonna end right there.
orangutan actor hating his trainer and waiting until the two were alone up in a tree, where
Reverse flash ass.
Pierre strangled his human op and threw him to the ground. But the only proof is the obscure article I couldn't find a source for. Plus, Pierre was probably in the right. Now, Joe's revenge was more than just a story. Joe was an orangutan.
Hold on, wait, let me go back here. Pierre, an orangutan trained for moving picture work, nursed its hatred for a brutal trainer until one day when they were high in a tree and strangled the trainer to his body to the ground. Dude, that is horrifying as fuck. Like, I'm just imagining the trainer, right? Who, I ain't gonna lie, probably fucking deserve that shit. I ain't gonna lie, like, especially like in back then, they did not give a fuck about animals, cause especially in the circus, them motherfuckers were shooting like brekkie bullets, brekkie inferno rounds, dragon rounds onto their feet and shit, whipping them in the butt. I ain't gonna lie. My man, he probably had that shit coming. I ain't gonna lie, he probably was fucking throwing like coal at my man, the orangutan. But no, just imagine them climbing a tree, doing some practical work, no one's seeing, and the orangutan just grabs you, all smiling. Does all that shit, bro. That is horrifying as fuck. What a way to go out, bro. But more than likely, he probably deserved it, Cuddy.
Probably in the right. Now, Joe's revenge was more than just a story. Joe was an orangutan.
I ain't gonna lie, if I'm an orangutan and I figured out my name is Joe, I'd be mad too.
Appeared in over 100 movies by 1919. This was a time where there were no laws against capturing, selling, and even killing wild orangutans.
What the fuck?
Universal Studios would take full advantage, and as cute as he was as a toddler, things changed once he became a teen. There would be several incidents with Joe, including a lawsuit where a security guard claimed Joe had mauled him with over 40 bites.
I ain't gonna lie, cause you treating me like this, and I want to beat the fuck out of you too, bro.
There was another time he escaped, and when police pulled up to catch him, Joe stole an officer's gun. But the most infamous case was Joe breaking out of the Universal Zoo, serving straight chaos for 3 days, and even releasing 15 wolves and his elephant friend Charlie on the way out.
Holy shit.
But Joe did seem to have a code. Not only did he never attack women or children, he'd often defend them. One scene had an actor pretend to spank a child, but because Joe don't play pretend with the little ones, the orang went O-line and leveled the guy.
Dude, what the fuck?
Another scene had Joe's character help rob a lady, but when good guy Joe saw the villain looming over her, Joe folded his clothes, with him in them. By 1924, Joe was retired from show business after being deemed too dangerous to work with. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it's Team Joe over here.
That's what I'm saying, this Team Joe, but that is so cool.
There's an even
moving like Detective Chimp.
darker side to orangutans, so dark that I'ma just drop this. Here's an ad while you consider your options. Birute Galdeques is a primatologist and one of the leading experts on orangutans, and in the 70s, she arrived at Camp Leakey in—
I've always wondered, for the leading experts for mammals that communicate, what if the mammals catch on that she's like one of those experts, and they just try to fuck with her? Hey, this is what humanity thinks of us. Dude, they really think we like we throw, punch shit with our hands. Like, and I always wondered that shit. Like, you think orangutans or like humans will bring in an orangutan expert or just an expert in general, and then the animals like hear about it? Oh, she's a fucking expert, okay, and just start fucking with her. That's the shit we would do. Like, I imagine if the flow like roles in reverse, right? Sorry, I'm chewing gum. Well, honey, you show up as super unprofessional, chewing gum while recording videos. You need to be. Shut the fuck up. All right, hold on. No. There we go. Like, I'm just like, imagine if someone brought in a human expert that thinks they know me or knows what I'm capable of or capable of doing or what I'm thinking. I would fuck with her too, cause I'm rage baiting. Fuck it.
In Tanjung Putin National Park, where she was immediately warned by native Indonesians that some male orangutans can find humans attractive and
I don't like where this is going.
occasionally, physically, and forcefully act on it. She didn't
Oh no.
believe it until a male walked into camp one day and violated a female cook, and even multiple people trying to wrestle him off couldn't stop the salacious onslaught. It's now advised that menstruating women either avoid orangs or walk around with a club. So as you can see, orangutans are capable of anything from petty theft and zoo escapes all the way to premeditated census
Dude, he's so creepy.
layoffs. But honestly, they could and should be way worse. An orangutan has never been on record murking a man, and some have had very good reasons. Joe Martin had every good reason, and the fact that he died with no body says more about his kind. The strong mom bond means Joe's mom was almost certainly destroyed for him to be taken. Joe suffered all manners of neglect, including—
Like, this is me, Joe Martin? What the fuck?
Electrical burns from wires, eye damage from the constant stage lights. He was given cigars and alcohol, which ruined his
One time they gave him red pepper spiked whiskey and he appropriately smacked out of a man.
health, and he was even knocked out by former heavyweight James Jeffries.
Like, what the fuck?
All without never really interacting with another orang. Joe going through all that and never
You know how it went with Travis.
severely maiming someone is our entire relationship with orangs in a nutshell. We have done far more to them than for them, in worse ways than you think. I can't even say what this one went through. Just know her name is Pony and her story is not for the weak. Orangutans as a whole
Why did the orangutan her name after being hit with a hope? What the fuck?
are a victim of humanity, and the worst part is what happens when they're gone. Once all the orangs in an area are gone, all the generational knowledge of how to live there
gone,
dies
yeah.
with them. It's not just a species, it's an entire culture that goes extinct with no way of bringing it back. So what can you on your phone, computer, or TV do? One is obviously support an organization that helps with research and rehabilitation, which is why I'll be donating to Orangutan Foundation International, founded by Galdekis herself. Link down below if you'd like to as well. Also, never support a place that uses orangutans as tourist traps. Any place that lets you pay to play with an orangutan is a huge red flag. But probably the best way is to avoid palm oil. Palm oil is the leading cause of their extinction, and it's in 50% of household products in the West. It's a commitment, but it's looking like we either give up the oil or negotiate the red ape's existence.
I really wonder. Tough. I really wonder.
The choice is yours.
Yeah.
Just know the orangutans would probably do the same for us. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. But first, I wanna thank y'all. If you remember my elephant sanctuary video,
Oh, that's so cool. But I really wonder if there's just like, is there a person out there who genuinely despises orangutans? Y'all remember that ish Minecraft versus like Minecraft Civilization video where Flux was like, we need to attack them before they attack us. You think there's someone out there right then or right now conspiring to exterminate all orangutans? Like y'all see Madagascar or penguins of Madagascar with the movie, and y'all know like the octopus's plans to like eradicate all like penguins. You would think there's someone that does that shit but for orangutans? Like they have all the pimp, like the blood, the red string in the dark room. We need to exterminate the orangutans before they take over our place. They're gonna take our jobs.
then you know that the park
We need to know.
actually flooded a month after I visited. A flood that cost 2 rescued elephants their lives. But you guys came through with the donations, and Miss Lek Chyler was so grateful, they actually made a cake with my name and gave it to the elephants.
Aww.
And seeing my favorite animals eating out of my namesake cake would have been impossible without you guys. So thank you all. Hopefully one day
I didn't do shit, but you're welcome.
I can do the same for Camp Leaky, but until then, drink water, hug your mother. If an orangutan hits you, apologize, because you deserved it. And I'ma see y'all in the next one.
You think like orangutans know that, or like animals know that we can't hit them back? I mean, obviously I'm talking about like specific conditions, specific experiences, because obviously if a fucking wolf is coming, you're gonna beat the fuck out of the wolf, or like a bear, you know, in a case like that. But like orangutans know the perception they have, right? That like, or maybe what if orangutans know about the perception they have to where like they know humans can't hit back, or they'd be seen, or the humans would be like seen in the wrong. And what if like orangutan just actively rage bait someone or beats the fuck out of them, knowing their like perception or knowing their like status in terms of like human society? You think that's ever happened before? I really want to know. All right, let me talk to an orangutan. That was cool as shit, bro. I'm telling you, support a freak like us, Cuddy. Giannis, what the fuck? What the fuck is the message saying? Now I'm curious. It's just booty pics. Wanna run tonight? Bro, where are you? You still at the gym? Practice ended hours ago. Freak. You fucking freak! Freak like us. Available at Dick's. Yeah, all the freaks go to Dick's. But that's gonna wrap up today's video, bro. If you like the video, I don't give a fuck, bro. That was cool, Cuddy. Support these original creators. I'm telling y'all right here or right now, bro. I love content like this. I love Tier Zoo. I love Casual Geographic. Support these guys, Cuddy. Support them. Fuck me. Leave me the fuck alone. Anybody want to talk? I don't want to talk to y'all. Ugh. But no, I love y'all. Peace. Bye.